Good morning, everyone. How are you? I will be starting today, or my theme today will be the Desiderata. I'm sure many of you remember it from many years ago when it was very, very popular. But it's still always, it's so important that if you could just go through it once in a while, it really puts you back on to your pathway to development. And it's a prose poem that was written by an American writer, businessman, attorney, Max Ehrman. It was written in 1927, so just a few years old. I'm going to read it all quickly, and then I'll go back and sort of get some highlights on it. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Achieve your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love. For in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. And that's the actual poem. So now I'm just going to go over and hit some highlights of it. Things that could be important to us as spiritualists and also just as our own personal growth. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. I don't know about you, but I hate noise. And it seems like the older I get, the higher my vibration is, the less I like noise. So I said to keep myself away, but I hate going in malls or any place where there's a lot of people talking, and background noise, to me, it's very disturbing. So I've learned not even to have it on. So remember, always approach life gracefully, no matter what the noise, no matter how much in a hurry you are. Go calmly, be at peace. as far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. As was one of the old sayings, don't burn your bridges. Always remember, you never know when they may need you or you're going to need them. So it's important to always treat everybody as you would yourself. Again, it's the golden rule. Us is one of our principles. So you always have to be on good terms with everybody as much as possible. And those you can't, or those seem to vexate you, and go your own way. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. There's no need to shout it out, whatever your truth is. People will listen better if you do it quietly and speak clearly. And once you speak, remember to listen as they respond. And that's always important. You don't just want to cut them off. It's a two-way conversation when you're talking to someone. Listen to what they're saying. And as you expound on what you believe, you never know what effect you may have on them. And they may seem to you on your spiritual pathway. You were probably dull and a little bit ignorant too. So give them some grace and know that where they are is okay. It's their life. Let them live it. And again, they too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the soul, to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. I think that's sort of self-explanatory, goes along with what I was saying earlier about the noise. And I know if I'm around a loud and aggressive person, I immediately just want to get away from them. I don't care what the situation is. I say, I have to leave. That way you don't involve yourself in that negative energy. They have their own story, you have yours. They're not walking in your shoes and you're not walking in theirs. So have some common sense there and know that what's their life is their life. If you start interrupting all the time and going into their life and trying to change it, the only one you're affecting is yourself. And usually you lose friends that way. If you do start comparing yourself and trying to be better and make them better than they are. Allow them to be themselves. Keep your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. So as you look back on your life, you can notice the achievements that you've made, how you've progressed, whatever it was in your career. For those of you who still have a career, I'm retired now. To keep interested in whatever you're doing. Make it interesting, make it fun, make it alive for you. Don't just humdrum, oh, I got to go to work today. Keep it real. You're there, who knows? You're there to get salary, of course, because this world doesn't operate on a monetary system for the most part. But you never know if you're in a particular place, in a particular time, to help someone else reach their potential. You can plant seeds wherever you are just by being who you are and being your. So be loving to everyone, kindness to everyone. Again, the golden rule. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. In other words, take note of people around you. They may have virtues you may not even have understood before because you never listened to them. You never had a conversation with them. I know I've done that in the past, just sort of cut people off and say, oh, well, not for me. But then once I kept going back, I learned that they had a lot to offer. Even if it's just as an example of what not to do. That's still a gift from them. It's a lesson learned to live your own life as it is. And there are people acting in a heroic way wherever you are, if you just take time to notice the small things. Something very small can be very heroic to someone else. And this is probably my favorite line in the whole poem. Be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to copy what someone else does. Yourself as you are. To me, that's the most important thing of all. Especially, do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love. For in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Remember, love is everywhere present. But that's a different kind of love than a personal relationship love. Although it can, of course, be the same. But quite often, people will get married in a situation or something like that just because they're craving affection, closeness to somebody. So they end up getting married and go through sometimes traumatic situations. But again, it's a lesson that they chose to learn. But don't fake it. So mean it. When you say, I love you, know without a doubt that you actually mean that. And if you really look at anyone around you, they have the same God spark within them. They have that same connection to infinite intelligence as we do. So bless them. Notice, see the good in them, see the wondrous properties that they have to offer. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. I know I've learned a lot over the years, and also those around us, our elders. They have so much to offer, so much to give, such as our own Lilia Cutler. She has so much to give us, so much. She expresses love in so many ways. It's hard to even express how much love that she shares and how much she shares of herself. And remember to talk to your parents, no matter how old they are. They have something to say. Again, listen to your elders. Listen to all those around you. Everyone has their own story, as it's been said. So it's important to realize, don't cut anybody off just because they're older than you, or if they're in a nursing home. Love them. Speak to them. Listen to them. That is probably the one thing that most people in a nursing home are lacking. And that's someone to listen to. They're there by themselves all so long No one is interested in their story. I know, looking back at my own past, I never really knew what my dad did. I had a surface idea. All I know is he expressed himself in a loving way at all times. And got promotions in the Navy, which most people wouldn't get. He became an officer after going through an enlisted program. So he did so much, but I never really took the time to talk to him about his career. Now I wish I did, because I'm sure it was wonderful. He had so much to offer to everyone. The same with my mother. She had her own stories too. But we sometimes, especially as we're starting to work through our middle-aged years, we really forget sometimes. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Isn't that true, though? Strength of spirit, nurture it. Because in times of misfortune, you know, if you have your head on your right path, you're working your pathway, you know that this is just now, and you have the capacity to change. Welcome change in that particular situation. Remember that there's one little famous phrase: this too shall pass. This too are so important, because you always have tomorrow to look forward to. Be at peace of where you are, no matter what the situation is. And you'll find, if you're at peace with it in these misfortunate times, you're going to find yourself being at peace with yourself and everyone around you too. You won't be barking at someone just because they're not feeling well. You're having to take care of them, whatever it is like that. And beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. Remember, you have your own story, you have your own life. Don't make it difficult for yourself by not being gentle. Always be gentle and take care of yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. We figure you chose to be here in this lifetime to learn particular lessons. We may not know what they are as we lessons to live a higher lifestyle, to lift your vibration higher and higher as you go through your life, and be that person that you can share with others if they ask. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Now, isn't that true? It's unfolding as it should. So things are lessons. You don't go get into the pity pot where you woe is me, everything's happening to me, why is this, why is that? Just say, okay, it's happening. What can I learn from it? And how can I move on? Again, this too shall pass. Therefore, be at peace with God, or whatever you can conceive him to be. We call God, because we're not a personification of a male, female deity. There's just overall oneness, the infinite, which means it has no beginning, no end. It's an infinite intelligence which just breathed the breath of life into the universe, spoke, created a sound, and all was a result of that sound. And therefore, all comes from God or infinite intelligence. We're all connected. Again, the unity principles. And whatever your labors and aspirations in your noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. If you go through your life with peace, the things that are noisy won't affect you anymore, or that will affect you less and less as you get on your own pathway and look at ways that you too can improve yourself, raise your vibration without regard to how someone else around you is doing theirs. Live and let live. With all its sham and drudgery and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Isn't this true? If we take the time, take a few minutes every day just to look outside, see how beautiful nature is. It may be very complex and you don't understand it all the time, but it's still beautiful. Even the rain we're having today brings life. It brings greenery in spring. It's flourishing all the roots and the plants in our garden. It's nourishing them now so that they may, in springtime, flourish and bud out into leaves and flowers for our wonderment and the beauty of this world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. How important is that? Always look on the brighter side of life. Be happy with what you have, where you are. If there's something you want to change, that's okay. Put out to the universe. I would like to have this changed or something better. And until then, I will appreciate the life that I have. So, as for all of us, I'm going to, at this point, give a really short meditation on the heart, your heart center. So if you close your eyes, be at peace. Close your eyes and begin to feel a relaxing energy flowing to you through your heart center. The heart center, which is the connection point within you and the God source within. Continue to relax and imagine or feel your heart center. Begin to take on a strong, intensifying glow of light, whatever color seems right for you in this moment. When I do this, I see a glowing pink sphere of energy, which I perceive as unconditional love and energy from my God core or higher self. So whatever color it is, it's what you need in that particular moment, that particular color. Let it bring you. Imagine this orb of light and energy. Allow it to flow out into your entire physical, etheric, and emotional bodies. Fill yourself with this light that you need at this particular point in time. At this time, we will confine this loving energy to our immediate bodies, to pay attention to ourselves and allow us to heal and feel love throughout. Later, as you become proficient with this practice, you can allow this energy to expand beyond your bodies and go out in unconditional love and healing to assist others in finding peace and love within themselves. But remember, have it inside you first, see it in you. Therefore, that's when you can share it with others. You have to have it within to really be honest with yourself and honest with people around you. So I'll thank you for allowing me to speak this morning. It's been always a pleasure to do so. And I will turn it back over to Joanne.